Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I said those differently, but who knows? You know which one you're in right now. I'm Shelley, and my channel is, and my concepts are a refreshing change. So there are so many traditional ways you can look at maybe movement, activity, exercises. And after 25 plus years, I've decided that it's time to let people see another version of how they may be able to do something. And your posture, your neck, your head has everything to do with the most effective and best use of time if you're going to a gym or if you're just walking, you're just standing in life. So when I go for hikes, and I don't go for long ones, so like an hour, but often stretching, and this is what I really hear a lot from people, is that they are not flexible and they don't know how to be flexible, and then they aren't flexible because it's hard to stretch. So this is a brief little routine that I do, and it may not be easy, it may not be simple, but it's something worth doing and can be done whatever level you are after you have walked, especially on the cement. Cement is very hard on our joints. Asphalt is better, and to me the ground is the best. So here is a stool, and then here is a chair. So the reason there's two levels here is because your first thing to do is we're going to stretch the knee. Now, there may be no way that your foot can go up this high, and this might be an armchair for you, the side of a chair. So maybe you put your foot up here on the chair. So this might be more accessible. If this is more than you want, put on the lower rung. So there's different levels that we meet our body where it's at. So you're here, and you're going to feel some stretch. Now remember how I said the head, the shoulders, the body has everything to do with the most effective way to stretch. If I am hanging out here, my whole body is bending, and I'm not getting any stretch here nor here. So what I do find, people do an excellent job. They come forward, and then they just push their pelvis forward, and their head droops down. Well, you may feel like you're getting more stretch, but it's not an effective stretch, and ultimately it will pinch your low back. So long neck, long body, drive the heel down. I want you to contract the quadricep, but please don't lock it out. That's a whole nother subject. We don't want to lock our knees out. So as you're tall and you're contracting your quadricep, and you might even contract your glute a little bit, and then you're going to feel the hip stretch. Now what I do is I take this knee out a little bit, and I bend it out toward the corner. This is going to give me more inner thigh stretch. Now for you, this may be very effective. You might need a higher table or chair or counter, or you're outside and you're in the front of your house and there's stairs. This might be a way to go. So I do that with each. I'm going to just put my foot up here. I'm stretching. So yes, I have been flexible all throughout my life. I've stayed with it. But I will tell you, the past few years, I've gotten stickier. So I got to make sure that my quadricep is strong, make sure my pelvis doesn't just flop forward. So there are some effective ways that we can go and get some good stretch. Okay, so here's the fun one. Okay, people who have taken my classes know that when I say that, it may not be so fun. You're going to come sideways, and the standing foot is away from your chair. Your toe is turned out, and you bend the standing knee. Now, this is what people may do. They may just hunch themselves forward. Well, as you're going to hear me say a lot, that's a waste of time. Let's keep our spine long. Just bend this a little bit, and that automatically, you may immediately feel this stretch. Now, you may be near a wall, and you might want to hold that balance. Stretch. Now, you also might feel a little cramping your glute like I just got, because I can get some tightness in there. So I'm gonna see, this is me. This is real world, okay? Stretch. I'm gonna rotate it. I'm gonna come down, and it feels much better. And then I come up, okay? Then I'm gonna move this just so I don't have my back to you. So you may just flip yourself around. So I'm standing far enough away. You might have to adjust that depending on how long your leg is. Whoa. Tall. So again, if you are hanging here, or let's say you're here, and let's say you're saying, you know, you're doing a little prayer here. Well, let's keep it up a little bit. Yeah, it's my stickier side. So just, I don't know, do that for 20 or 30 seconds and drag it off. Okay, here's the fun one. And this is where I'm going to go to this after I come here. So this is that standing pigeon. You might have seen that or heard that from a yoga pose. So you're going to see right away that there's a lot of space between the knee and here. So if I switch to this, okay, I am going to try to keep my standing leg out a little bit. Oh. So I'm going to feel some, you might feel a lot of stretch here. So the way my body is built, it's better for me to be up here because I have a little bit range of motion. Oh, little. Posture's tall. Here's what people want to do. Oh, here, let me get stretched further. But you're not. I'm telling you, you're just kidding yourself. And then if I do the other leg, as I catch myself, that's the other thing I teach, is moving balance. Okay. So you may not notice, but there is a bigger gap between these two. And there's partly a reason for that. So when I was 3, many decades ago, I lost my big toe. And so it was a biking little incident. And at the time, and even now, they don't sew on big toes because there's no real good circulation. The reason I say all this, because my walking pattern with that right foot has often been to push off. There's just this subtle push off because my other 4 toes have taken over the job of the big toe. So this area is very tight. So this at least keeps me from being completely stuck. Ooh. Okay, there's my lovely assistant, Ferdy. And then coming down. Now here's another great reason to have a chair. And if you're traveling, okay, you're gonna have to hop off. Let's say you're in an airplane and it's very tight. I cross. Now it's important to have my free foot here. It's in line with my hip. Flex this foot. And I am trying to get my knee and my hip in line. He is very supportive of me. So what I'm not doing is rounding forward to pretend I'm stretching further. I'm sitting tall and I'm hinging. I'm going to turn just so you can see. So we keep our spine tall. So I want you to feel like your tailbone is reaching back. So this is something you could easily do probably on a bumper or on the steps. And then we switch. So you don't even have to move forward. Let's keep our spine tall. Let's feel our pelvis root down. That alone will help stretch. You might have heard piriformis. Oh, my neck is long. So this is great if you have been sitting at a computer all day, or you've been traveling in a car or traveling by plane. So do this in the airport. And then when you're standing, you do not need to push off with your hands. We just stand, our feet are here, and there you go. So thanks for watching. I hope that you feel a good stretch. Even if you don't have time for all of those, you just do a couple of them. Lift the knees, open the hips, and you'll just feel better. So thanks for watching. Till the next one.